There is a common confusion among the Star Wars fanbase concerning the overall power of Anakin Skywalker, and more specifically, the power he could potentially achieve. Because Anakin was the chosen one, does this really mean he was potentially more powerful than any other Jedi before him, or was he just a Force user who was exponentially powerful, but overall not among the greats of all Star Wars due to certain things hindering his growth? In this video, I want to explain this, and I feel the most important word that you'll be hearing a lot over the course of this video is potential. What is the potential that Anakin wields, and is that potential enough to make him the most powerful ever? Even though some fans might not approve, I feel I need to bring up the Midichlorians, as it is essential to understanding this topic. Anakin was believed to actually be conceived out of the Midichlorians. Now what a Midichlorian is a living microscopic life form present in cells that allows individuals to feel and tap into the Force. The normal person in the Star Wars galaxy has around 2,500 Midichlorians per cell, but Anakin had over 20,000 per cell, which gave him the highest count ever recorded. But just because this great power was there, doesn't mean Anakin had instant access to all of it. It would almost be like a hunter, or learning anything for that matter. As a hunter, if you have the best gun, and the best camouflage, and overall the best gear, it will definitely help, and improve your likelihood of your success. But with all these tools, you still need to know what you're doing, and to be a good shot. In this case, the Midichlorians are Anakin's gear, but he needs to build upon that. Over Anakin's training as a Jedi, he was very powerful, but also not the hardest working at times, and often very reckless. Anakin had the tendency to jump into conflicts or engagements he sometimes was ill-prepared for. To me, the reason Anakin never reached his true potential as a Jedi is because he fundamentally did not grasp what a Jedi was. Anakin always sought excitement and danger. He also sought to better himself in his Force abilities and dueling skills, but he wanted these things for very selfish purposes. Anakin wanted to be the best to say he was the best, not because it would allow him to help innocents more effectively as a Jedi of the Order. Going back to Anakin not thinking and going through situations before they occur, I believe this was the contributing factor to him losing to Obi-Wan on Mustafar. By all accounts, Anakin should have won that duel. He was faster, stronger, more powerful in the Force, and a better duelist. But brilliantly, Obi-Wan knew these things, and he also knew Anakin. Obi-Wan knew in a straight-up confrontation slugging match he wouldn't last very long, so what he did was go on the defensive for the majority of the fight, and wait for the perfect opportunity, which eventually did present itself. Obi-Wan thought his way out of the duel, and it ultimately won him the victory. Now I want to talk about Anakin's transition to a Sith Lord and Darth Vader, and if he had gone uninjured, if he could have met his full potential. I still think, even as a Sith, Anakin would maintain his mindset of having his already astounding abilities be enough for him. Even though Sidious would train him in the ways of the Force, I think Anakin's stubbornness and cockiness would still persist. This is not at all to say I don't believe he would become powerful. I absolutely think he would. Maybe even the most powerful, and more capable than even Sidious, but we are talking about the absolute fullest potential in this video. The reason Darth Vader became as intimidating and as powerful as he did after his injuries is because he was forced to work at it. Vader built himself up from nothing. He had to learn how to fight again, this time with a heavy suit weighing him down, and he had to learn how to use his strength in the Force more effectively due to it being extremely diminished. After Anakin's injuries, for the first time, he was truly forced to push himself to the absolute limits as Darth Vader, and was able to pull himself up to become a magnificent specimen of the dark side. Vader's duel with Obi-Wan on Mustafar is what crafted him into the great Sith he became. Darth Vader realized his mistakes and missteps laying there burning alive. Vader realized he would need to begin to think, and use his great strength with cunning and brains placed behind it rather than just attempt to skate on his great potential. As a result of this great switch in mindset, Vader was able to pull himself back from the brink and rebuild, becoming more skilled than ever and more brilliant of a Force user and fighter than ever, but ultimately, the hope of reaching his full potential had drifted away with the loss of so much living tissue, therefore making it more difficult to tap into the Force. I want to explain it like this. If an uninjured Anakin turned to the dark side and gained the great willpower and determination of post-suit Darth Vader without acquiring the huge injuries, he would have most definitely become the most powerful. But ultimately, because he didn't, and he only gained this mindset after his great defeat at the hands of Obi-Wan, he did not reach this potential. To definitively answer the question, yes, Anakin Skywalker could have really become the most powerful Jedi or Sith ever. Anakin simply had all the cards in his hands. He was very powerful and naturally gifted in nearly all aspects concerning his potential as a Force user. But even with this, he had to play his cards to perfection to reach ultimate power, and although he played them well and became quite the stunning warrior, he failed to reach that perfection. This to me is what makes the differences between Darth Vader and Anakin so intriguing. I love that they are the same person, but yet so different in nearly all the ways they handle themselves. If put together, they would without a doubt become maybe by far the most powerful, but they are each missing the pieces the other has. Anakin was naturally gifted, but lacked the foresight and knowledge to reach the power, and Vader has all the knowledge and skill to become the most powerful, but lacks the natural gifts he once had as Anakin Skywalker. In very simple terms, this applies to nearly everything else. Just because someone ultimately has the ability to achieve something great doesn't mean they will. I want to end the video with one of my favorite Star Wars quotes concerning Vader's transition from an extremely gifted Force prodigy to a cripple in a cybernetic suit. I think it sums up Vader/Anakin perfectly, and I hope it helps illustrate my point. "And you rage and scream and reach through the Force to crush the shadow who has destroyed you, but you are so far less now than what you were. You are more than half a machine. You are like a painter gone blind, a composer gone deaf. You can remember where the power was, but the power you can touch is only a memory. And so, with all your world-destroying fury, it is only droids around you that implode, and equipment, and the table on which you were strapped shatters, and in the end, you cannot touch the shadow. In the end, you don't even want to." In the end, I think that quote perfectly sums everything up from Vader to Anakin and what exactly happened, and whether or not he could have become the most powerful. Thank you so much for watching, and tell me down below which you think is better, having all the inherent strength but lacking the knowledge and will to improve, or having all the knowledge and will but lacking in the inherent power. In a sense, who do you think is the more powerful and dangerous version of Anakin Skywalker/Darth Vader? Again, thanks for watching, may the Force be with you, and please have a great day.